Have you ever been tallying up the scorecard at the end of your round of golf and you're unhappy with what you see? I'm sure all golfers have been there at one time or another. However, how many of us can actually say we've done something to help improve our game of golf? I'm Tim Outson. I was an assistant high school golf coach for 2 years, and I've played in many different large amateur golf tournaments all over the country. And today, I'm going to be showing you how you can improve your game of golf. The rest of this speech is going to be dedicated to helping you learn some of the key fundamentals to the game of golf that in turn will help improve your golf score. There's several fundamentals to the game of golf, and these are very key. One of these fundamentals is the swing. That swing's that beautiful motion that we've seen on TV with Tiger Woods or Jordan Spieth. However, a lot of new golfers mistake some of the portions of their swing. One of these is your grip on your club. Grip is very important. You don't want to grip the club too tight. You don't want to grip it too loose, but you want to find that grip that just holds the club just right. Along with this, you're going to want to find what grip works best for you. There's various differentiations between differing grips. I implore you to go online and find which one works for you, along with using real-world practical exercises with your club to help you figure out what grip works best for you. Because when you get that grip down with the proper tightness on the club, you're going to be able to help your game immensely. According to Golf Weekly and USA Today, when you get your grip down, that's going to help you control the club better. When you control the club better, that's going to help you control your club speed better. And when you control your club speed better, you're going to be able to strike the ball better. When you do all these three things, it's going to help your swing immensely and help your game overall. Along with the swing, a common mistake that young players make is they just try and crush the ball. They try and hit the ball as hard as they can. However, this is bad. According to golf.com, when you swing as hard as you can, you lose some key fundamentals to your swing, which causes you to swing more poorly and hit the ball poorly. When you are swinging as hard as you can, it's not a fluent motion. It's not that fluent swing that we're all used to. Instead, you're going to end up chopping at the ground. You're going to be chopping down. That's going to cause you to tip the ball barely, hit it in the wrong direction, or barely get the ball off the tee. So when you're swinging, don't try and swing as hard as you can, but instead slow down a little bit and work on those fundamentals. In fact, swinging harder isn't even going to help you hit the ball further. Although it sounds right, it's not, because it's all about that club speed. And when you lose those fundamentals, when you swing harder, you're surrendering that club speed and you're end up hitting the ball shorter distances. So just relax a little bit. You're not Tiger Woods. You don't have to swing as hard as you can. Work on those fundamentals, and that's going to help your swing better. Along with that, a common mistake that golfers make is they don't line up their swing properly. When you line up your swing, you're going to want to look down at your feet and imagine a line going across your toes. This line where it's pointing is going to be where your swing is aiming and where you're going to hit the ball. In fact, Keiser University's College of Golf has found that a lot of young players don't align their shots properly. This can cause for misaligned swings, and you'll end up hitting the ball in the wrong direction or not where you intended for the ball to go. So take that time to make sure that you line up your swing correctly to help your swing overall. So now that you've learned a little bit on how to help your swing out to help your game, how else can you improve on those fundamentals? And what other fundamentals are there? One of these fundamentals is knowing the proper distances to hit what ball at. You're not Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods gets up there and he hits his pitching wedge 200 yards. You're a new golfer. You're the average golfer. You're not going to be able to do that. So don't try and do that. You're going to end up making mistakes when you do that. Instead, learn the proper distances. In fact, you can go to the pros at Dick's Sporting Goods to learn this. I suggest this immensely. I've used them before, and the pros at Dick's Sporting Goods and their article online can help you show what clubs to use and when. For example, when you're hitting at longer distances, you're going to want to use a club similar to this. This is a driver. This is the club you're going to be using at the tee box. You're going to want to use your driver when you're hitting at distances about 240 yards plus. So those long distance shots. Then when you're still at long distance between about 220 to 240 yards, you're going to use a club very similar to the driver, the 3-wood. It's the same shape and size of the driver, except just the club head's a little bit smaller. And then from 220 to 200 yards, you're going to want to use, again, a long distance club that's similar to the build of the driver. That's a 4 or a 5-wood. Then when you get into your mid distances, you're going to want to switch up to a club such as this one. This is an iron, and irons are made for mid distances, and that's what you should be hitting. It's got that bladed front that's not really too high of an angle. So with drivers from around 135 yards, you're going to want to use a 9 iron. From more than 145, you're going to want to use an 8 iron. From 155, use a 7 iron. And 155 to 200, use a little bit lower, so like a 5 or a 4 iron. So use those irons for your mid-distance shots. And then when you get closer to the green, you're going to want to use a club such as this one. This is a wedge. Again, it's a similar build to the iron. However, it's a lot more lofted in the face. This is going to help you hit the ball higher, but shorter, and it's going to stick on the green better. You're going to want to use this exact club, a pitching wedge, from 50 to 100 yards out about. And then anything below 50 yards, you're going to want to use something like a lob wedge or a sand wedge, which is very similar to the pitching wedge. However, that angle in the club head is higher, which is going to cause you to hit it higher and shorter. So when you learn those fundamentals, it's going to help you figure out what to hit and when to hit it, which is very good. So now that you know what to hit and how to help your swing out, what else can you do? The main thing in golf is the fundamentals. You can't let yourself get caught up in the mentality of golf. It's just a game. It's for fun. So try and stay positive throughout the game of golf. In fact, by an article by Fergus Bissett talks on how you can't give into a bad shot. If you hit a bad shot, move on to the next one, because that's going to help your mentality and help you stay positive throughout a round. Also, another key thing that you can do is imagine yourself making that shot. As you line up to the shot, imagine landing on the green. Imagine making that exact shot you want to make. An article by Psychology Today says that when a person does this, they're going to end up accomplishing their goals a lot more often because they're imagining it, and when you imagine it, you can make it happen. So after learning all those fundamentals of golf, you're going to be able to help your game immensely. From the long distances on the tee box to the short distances, the swing. It's important. Learn it. Learn those fundamentals of the swing. The proper clubs, being able to use those is going to help immensely. And then not letting yourself get caught up in mental traps. When you put all of those together, you're going to be able to help the game of golf that you're playing very well. Learning these key fundamentals is going to help your game of golf very well. And practice them and work on them. And who knows, maybe someday you might be the next Tiger Woods.